Like a pretty disappointing second half, really. What do you put that down to?
Oh, wow. We just got smashed in the contest. I think clearances were 5:15 at quarter time. Yeah, and that is a spanking. And you know, the unfortunate part for us is that's probably the strength of our game, and we just got absolutely hammered at a part of our game that usually we fare pretty well in. I think it was like, you know, sort of as a shot for goal, but it was like, I reckon they kicked 5 goals in 5 minutes and just centre bounce territory, and I think they had in excess of 20 inside 50 stoppages. So it's just we just couldn't get the game played in our half, and usually most of the time, if it's not played in your half, it's because you've lost the contest. And tried different things to try to correct it, but none of it worked. You know, to their credit, they played a great game of footy. When we tried to force them on the inside of the contest, they won the ball from there and got it to the outside. And if we tried to beat them to the ball on the inside, then they'd push us in and get outside balance and hurt us there. So we tried lots of things, but they were just far too good for us in that space for the whole of the day, really. But particularly early, you know, that five goal patch right at the start of the game is just a real momentum swing. We worked hard to try. You know, we won the second quarter. Our goal, obviously, once they had such a good start, is can we peg this difference back? You know, 5 goal deficit at quarter time. Can we just peg this back? Pegged a couple of goals back by half time, but yeah. Was unable to make any scoreboard impression early in the third quarter, and yeah, they continued to win contests like they had early or across the whole day, really.
Are you worried that you're going backwards? Because I'm sure Roos fans just want to see something, glimmer of hope at the moment, but it feels like the performances are arguably getting worse.
Yeah, we feel like we're making progress. It doesn't feel like that today, and you know, our first 4 games of the year were really competitive. We were pretty good against the Swans in the first half, but then had a dreadful third quarter. Last quarter was pretty even. And last week we were a goal in front, you know, 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. So there's patches of our games where we're going okay, but today was really disappointing because we built ourselves up for a big contest. It was a big day for our footy club and big day for the footy community, really. I'm pleased that we still got to celebrate the kids and the cause, and you know, these 2 clubs, their proximity to the hospital is really important, that we can support this cause in a really good way. So the off-field side of that has been really strong, but we're just disappointed that we couldn't put on a better effort on the on-field side of things.
What do you feel is causing this sort of hemorrhaging of goals? I mean, you said it was like, I think you called it a fade out last week, and a disappointing third quarter clash against Sydney, 15-5 in the last half today.
Yeah, well, it's just patches of games that are really costly. You know, as I said, if you can't win contests, and that's been an area of our game that's been pretty strong, but if you can't win contests, then it doesn't really matter what side you play. If they're dominating a contest like that, then it's going to put your backs under enormous stress, and that was the case today. So, but that's the hard part. It's a little bit like the golf game. It's just different areas of your game are falling apart. Other weeks it's been turnover or other aspects of the game, and today it was a part of our game that we're usually pretty strong at. So. We'll just keep getting to work and see if we can improve in that space next week. But as I said, you think you're going all right off the tee, and then you can't putt for nuts, and then the next week you work on your putting all week and get your putting okay, and you drive them out of bounds. So that's a little bit our go at the moment. But in terms of where we're going and what we think we need to do, we feel like we're still on the right track.
You mentioned the Good Friday occasion and how much of a privilege it is. I mean, is it concerning now that you've only won one of the games over the years, and the potential argument that another team deserves to play if the performances aren't stacking up?
Oh yeah, well that will always be the narrative. That was the narrative with the season opener with Richmond and Carlton for a long period of time too. Ironically, the Blues that we're playing today. That's just swings and roundabouts, and the bottom line is that if the wider football public were concerned about the game itself and the quality of it, they wouldn't vote with their feet like they have with every one of these games. Has nearly been a sellout. So we're not going so well on field at the present time, but I'd like to think that the work that both of the clubs do, but particularly our club, does in supporting the appeal, the on-field stuff will come.
It's just become your toughest challenge in football, Alastair. Like, you obviously turned around Hawthorn, but it's just like tougher than perhaps what you thought it might.
Well, I love the challenge of it. It's difficult, but as an old coach used to say to me, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It is a really tough caper, and we've put some things in place at our footy club that we think are building blocks to have us head in the right direction. It's just slower than we all want, really, but I've also seen it turn around really, really quickly too. So that's the disappointing part about today, that it was a part of our game that we really thought that that's one of the building blocks of our game that we're usually pretty competitive in, and that was the one that fell away and cost us so dearly throughout the course of the day. And at no stage, despite making some changes, whether at personnel or taking numbers away from the stoppage or adding more numbers to the stoppage, there was nothing that we did that arrested the control that Carlton had in that space. Even though I think the clearance numbers suggested that we're better in that space in the second half, the quality of their clearances and the ground that they were able to take from them was just so much superior to ours.
How do you assess George Wardlaw's performance? It looked like he really gave you something around the ball when he came on in the first quarter, but was there an issue maybe with the cohesiveness in the midfield, just getting used to playing with him back in the side?
Oh, I don't think there was anything to do with that. Like he gave us some real energy and spark, George. We could hardly be critical of his game. It's his first game for the year, and we were really pleased he got through and played with the energy and spirit. He lacked a bit of polish with the footy at different stages, but by and large, we were really impressed. First and foremost, just to get him through the game and get some continuity with his football at senior level. There's a big step up from VFL footy to AFL footy, so we're mindful of that. I thought he was admirable with his performance, and hopefully we can build on it from there.
Is there such a thing as having too many midfielders? I mean, you've got a stack of stars in there, but it feels like maybe defining their roles is going to be tricky moving forward.
No, I don't think so. That's the way we've needed to recruit from where we selected in the draft, and just got to try and turn that into a strength. And there's a lot of clubs, I think, that bat deep in that part of the ground, and you need to, because inevitably you get some injuries or some change that you need through that part of the ground. You need as many to go through there as you possibly can.
Zach Fisher, hamstring?
I think so, yeah. So it was early in the third quarter, so we'll have to get that assessed and see how it goes for him.